Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Madi, and in this video I'm going to show you the study opportunities in the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Medina. It's my 5th year living in Medina as I'm a student of the Islamic University, and within the last number of years I've seen all these changes in Saudi Arabia in terms of how open it becomes. Now you can find all these types of visa that allow you to come to Saudi Arabia and stay here. There is halaqat of Quran, there's halaqat of mutun, there are marakez, and that's why I'm making this video, so you would know that these opportunities are presented for you and you can come for it. And that's why I'm making all these videos and PDF files. By the way, I'm the owner of the Study in Saudi Arabia YouTube channel, as well as the Telegram channel. When the universities of Saudi Arabia accept the applications, that's when we come forward. We translate documents and help people apply. And yeah, that's what basically I do. And in this video, I'm going to show you the opportunities, how you can come to Medina. And that's why I decided to divide this video into 3 parts. The first part is about the study opportunities for both men and women. The second opportunity is going to be about the study opportunities exclusively for women, and the third part is going to be the study opportunities exclusively for men. And before we get into these 3 parts, I want to mention that Saudi Arabia has become very open. Now you have all these types of visa. For example, British citizens, they can come to Saudi Arabia under this waiver visa that allows you to stay for 6 months. My wife, she comes to Saudi Arabia under this visa. They apply for this visa. It only costs something around $40 or 32 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. And within 2 minutes, they send you visa. Then you can come to Saudi Arabia and stay here for 6 months. The US citizens, American brothers, they have this type of visa that's stamped on their passports, and then they come to Saudi Arabia for 6 months. Then they just leave the country, and they don't have to leave the country all the way for the United States. They just go to the Jordanian border and leave the country and immediately get back. That's how they renew their stay. So they stay here for 6 months, go there and go back. It's not that far, and they stay here for another 6 months. And there are other types of visa in other countries that are presented for them. For example, I know Russian brothers, they have this business visa for 5 years. They come to Saudi Arabia for 3 months. After 3 months, they go to Jordan and get back. It's not that far. The point is that there are many types of visa that you can go for, so you can get that visa and come to Saudi Arabia for a long stay. And now let's get into the main topic of this video. What kind of study opportunities are presented for you in Medina, the city of the Prophet ﷺ? The first part of this video, which is about the opportunities that are available for both men and women. And as you can guess, these opportunities are presented in the Prophet's mosque. It's 3 things or 4 things that are available for both men and women. The first one is halaqat of Quran, study circles of Quran. The second one is halaqat of mutun, the study circles of memorizing the Islamic texts. The third one is the Mahad of the Masjid Nabawi. Mahad is like a middle and high school where you study Islamic sciences. You don't study chemistry, you don't study physics. You study Islamic sciences, maybe a little bit of math, but generally it's Islamic sciences. And College of the Prophet's Mosque. There's a whole documentary on my channel, on YouTube channel, about the College of the Prophet's Mosque, of the Masjid Nabawi, where people get their higher education in the Prophet's Mosque. Allahumma barik. And all these opportunities are available for both men and women. And before we get into that, I want to mention a hadith for you that talks about the great virtue of seeking knowledge in the Masjid Nabawi. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, he heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, if anyone comes to this mosque of mine which is the Prophet's mosque, Masjid Nabawi, coming only for some good, which he will learn or teach, just like you, if you come to Medina and sign up for this halaqat, and you will be a student, then he ranks a mujahid in Allah's path. So the one who does it, he gets the reward of the one who is fighting in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the reward for seeking knowledge in the Prophet's mosque. And this great virtue cannot be found anywhere except in the Prophet's mosque. And now we get into this halaqat and all these institutions where you can seek knowledge in the Prophet's mosque, whether you are a man or a woman. The first one is the halaqat of Quran. There are types of halaqat of Quran. The very first one and the obvious one is the halaqat of Quran hifz. When you memorize the Quran, you sign up for that halaqah, you tell the teacher how long you're going to stay in Medina. And by the way, I forgot to mention that you can sign up for this halaqat of Quran and mutun under any type of visa. You don't have to be a resident of Saudi Arabia. You just come with a tourist visa, with a business visa, it doesn't matter, and you just sign up. No problem at all, no questions asked. The first one is halaqah of Quran hifz. In this halaqah, you sign up, go to the teacher and tell them how long you're planning to stay here and what's your goal. I know a brother who came here for a whole year and memorized 21 ajza within 1 year. He knew 9 ajza of the Quran and he completed the memorization of Quran within 1 year. Allahumma barik. You can do the same. You can benefit from this stay as much as this brother, maybe less, maybe more. It depends on how much effort you are willing to put into your study. The second type of this halaqat of Quran is a halaqah of Quran revision. Meaning that if you've memorized the Quran, you can still come to Medina and revise the whole Quran from the beginning to the end. The third type of this halaqah of Quran is called halaqah of ijazah. Meaning that, okay, let's say you've memorized the Quran, you've perfected your memorization, and now you aim to receive an ijazah, that you memorize the Quran from the Prophet's mosque, from the Masjid Nabawi. This is the third type of Quran halaqah. And by the way, as I've told you that we help to apply to Saudi universities for Islamic sciences, for Islamic studies, and even scientific studies. What really plays a big role in you being accepted for Islamic studies is certificates of Quran and the Arabic language. It means that you've already put some efforts into studying the Islamic sciences. I know a worker from the Islamic University of Medina who works in the deanship of admission registration, and he told me that when he goes through the applications to see who they are going to accept for studies at the Islamic University, he told me that he specifically looks for the certificates of Quran. If you are able to get the certificate from the Prophet's mosque that you memorized the whole Quran, or maybe even less, the Prophet's mosque, they provide you a certificate even if you memorize only 5 ajza. If you are able to provide the certificate, it will have, inshallah, a great impact on your application. So don't neglect this opportunity. You can memorize 5 ajza and get the certificate from the Prophet's mosque. 10 ajza, 15, 20, 25, 30 ajza. And the same is applied to the Arabic language. If you have some certificates of the Arabic language, that you studied this language, it can also increase your chances of getting a scholarship in one of the Saudi universities. So this is the third type of Quran halaqah, that you can get a certificate. And even when you memorize, you get a certificate for 5 ajza, 10 ajza, as I mentioned. The fourth type of halaqat of Quran is called halaqah of Quran recitation correction. A lot of people, they don't realize that they make mistakes when they recite the Quran. I was one of them. I was shocked when I got a good teacher who was very invested in teaching, and then he started pointing out every mistake that I had in my recitation when I arrived in Medina, and I was just shocked by how many mistakes I was making. So don't neglect these halaqah of Quran. The other one from amongst the halaqah of Quran is the one that for those who with special needs, they even accommodate for people who are blind. People are blind and they still recite the Quran, they memorize the Quran. And if I'm not mistaken, they even accommodate for the people who are deaf. They cannot hear, and yet they learn the Quran, memorize it, they have their tests. So the Prophet's Mosque also accommodates for those people. Allahumma barik. The second type of halaqah is halaqat of mutun. When you memorize these Islamic texts, I'm going to show you just some of the books. There are 6 or 7 levels for this halaqat of mutun, where you memorize the Islamic texts. This is the very first one. This is called at-tamhidi, preparatory level. This is a short version, and this is a full version. This is what you start with the third version, with the short version, and then with the full version. This is preparatory. It has a lot of dua and adhkar. The first level looks like this. It has 4 books: An-Nawaqid al-Islam, Al-Qawa'id al-Arba', 4 rules, Al-Usul al-Thalatha, 3 foundations, and Al-Arba'un al-Nawawiyya, 40 hadith of Imam al-Nawawi. This is in the first level. This is what students memorize in this halaqah of mutun. And then there is a second level. It has 3 books inside, but it's a thick one. Tuhfatul Adfal. Then the second book is about Arkanus Salah wa Shurut, the conditions and the Arkan of Salah. And the third book is Kitabut Tawheed, from the beginning until the end. And there are other books that are presented in this halaqat al-mutun. We've made a whole PDF file about this halaqat. You can find this PDF file in the description of this video, and please make sure that you do, because this PDF file, it's hard to express how beautiful. Alhamdulillah, I didn't make this PDF file, it was somebody else. We had this initiative that we're going to make PDF files, and I couldn't do it all myself. Jazahullah, may Allah reward those who are involved in this initiative. So in this PDF file you will find everything you need to know about this halaqat of Quran and mutun. So this is what this halaqat of mutun is about. You memorize these Islamic texts. What I wanted to mention is that during these halaqah studies, you don't pay anything, of course. But quite the opposite, this is very, very interesting. Quite the opposite, the Prophet's Masjid, they pay you for studying with them. Allahumma barik. There is a monetary rewards. I'm not going to go deep into that, but you can find it in this PDF file. For passing the tests and exams, they reward you. In this PDF file, you will also find the required information for when registering, some of the valuable tips that you should keep in mind when you go and register for one halaqah or another. Study time and timings. This halaqah are held after Fajr prayer, Asr, Maghrib, and even Isha prayer, if I'm not mistaken. Just make sure that you read this PDF file. And what usually people ask after they got familiarized with all this information is, okay, I want to come to Medina, I can get this visa, it's not a problem, but where can I stay while I'm studying, while I'm memorizing? And for this purpose, I've come up with an idea, and I've already implemented it to an extent. I rented an apartment, a very, very large apartment. It has 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, kitchen, living room, even a room for the washing machine, and like technical room. So yeah, that's a very large apartment, and it only accommodates for 8 people, 2 people per room, per bedroom. So if you are willing to come, then I provide this opportunity to rent the spot for yourselves. And I wouldn't say this is like a financial project of mine. If 5 people out of 8 rent this apartment, then I just get my money back. If 6 or 7 or 8 people rent the place, then I'm gonna make some more money. But the main purpose is not that me making money. The main purpose is that people have accommodation to stay in Medina and study in the Prophet's mosque. And this apartment is only for men. After I announced about this apartment opportunity, some women expressed their interest in renting a place. I don't know, first of all, I don't know if the Sharia perspective on that women will come even with their mahram and they will stay with other women in one apartment. I don't know. I'm not a scholar. I'm just a student. But maybe in the future, if it's fine with the Sharia regulation and there is a demand for that, maybe we will accommodate for women as well, inshallah. But for now, it's only for men, and the price is not that high. You can you can go to our Telegram channel and find this announcement. All the links will be in the description of this video. As I've told you, I own the YouTube channel that's called Study in Saudi Arabia, as well as the Telegram channel that's called Study in Saudi Arabia, where we make, like I personally make, all the announcements about all the opportunities that are presented in seeking knowledge, in the field of seeking knowledge in Saudi Arabia. So make sure you just subscribe to those channels. Inshallah, it's going to be beneficial for you. So this is what I wanted to say about the halaqat of Quran and Mutun in the Prophet's mosque. There's a whole PDF file. And now I'm going to get to another type of study in the Masjid Nabawi, which is the mahad of the Masjid Nabawi and the college of the Prophet's mosque. I gained some information on these two. First of all, let me just give you some short description about these study institutions. The mahad of the Prophet's mosque is like a middle school and a high school. The middle school is 3 years study, and the high school of this mahad is going to be another 3 years of study. So mahad lasts for 6 months of study. If you start from the very beginning of the mahad, you study for 6 months. Astaghfirullah, 6 years. 6 years until you graduate from this mahad. This is what I wanted to say in regard of mahad. And there is a college of the Prophet's mosque, which is a higher education. They have 5 faculties: faculty of Quran, faculty of hadith, faculty of sharia, faculty of da'wah or aqidah, not da'wah but aqidah, and the faculty of the Arabic language. So this is a higher education. But there are 3, and by the way, when you hear the middle school or high school, don't think that you're going to be studying chemistry or physics. As I mentioned before, it's all about the Islamic sciences: at-tawheed, al-aqidah, the fiqh studies, the Arabic language, an-nahw, sarf. All of it is taught in that middle and high school, which are inside of this mahad. Thousands of students are studying there. The study starts at 9:30 a.m. and lasts until 12 o'clock or 11:30, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a formal study, and there are certain requirements, of course. For you to sign up for this study. The first requirement is that you speak the Arabic language. If you join the mahad of the Masjid Nabawi, you don't have to be that proficient in the Arabic language. But if you want to join the College of the Prophet's Mosque, of course you're supposed to be more advanced in the knowledge of this language. This is the first requirement, that you speak the language, at least, let's say, on an intermediate level. The second requirement is that you have a certain visa if you are a man. But if you're a woman, you have to have a residency of Saudi Arabia. So women, They cannot just go there with a business visa or with any type of visa and sign up. And I know that from my first hand experience, my wife tried to sign up for those studies in the Mahad of the Masjid Nabawi. They wouldn't budge. They say, we are very strict about this rule. Women must be residents of Saudi Arabia to sign up for those studies. As for men, just a month ago, one brother approached me. He gave me a hug. He said, Jazakallah khairan, brother. You don't know me, but I do know you. I watched a video about the documentary about the College of the Prophet's Mosque, and then you mentioned that there is a Mahad in the Prophet's Mosque. So I got my visa, business visa. He's from Russia. I made this documentary in 2 languages, English and Russian. And I found the means to get that visa, business visa. I arrived in Medina, and now I signed up for the study in the Mahad of the Prophet's Mosque. So men, it's not that strict. You can even have this business visa that allows you to stay here for 5 years, and of course you have to leave the country every 3 months and back and forth, but still. But this is a formal type of study. They study like Kitab al-Tawheed, al-Usul al-Thalatha, Umdatul Ahkam, all these books in Arabic in the Prophet's Mosque. And they accommodate even for old people. You don't have to be 18, 16 to study in the Mahad. You can be 40 years old and still study in the Mahad, like middle school of the Prophet's Mosque. Allahumma barik. And then there's a College of the Prophet's Mosque. I have a friend who studies in the college. They cover more advanced books compared to Mahad, Bulugh al-Maram, for example. If I'm not mistaken, they cover it from the beginning to the end. And when you graduate from those places, you get the shahada, the certificate, or what do you call it, diploma that you graduated. So this is what I wanted to mention about the formal study, in Medina, in the Prophet's Mosque, when it comes to Mahad and the College of the Prophet's Mosque. And as I've told you, this first part is available for both men and women. Men and women, they can go to the Prophet's Mosque, sign up for this halaqat of Quran or mutun. They can study in the Mahad, they can study in the college if they're advanced. But women has to have residency of Saudi Arabia. Now we're going to get to the second part of this video, which is the study opportunities that are exclusive for women. And some people might ask, why are you studying with the women opportunities? Because usually it's men who are students of knowledge. But I want to tell you one interesting thing I was very surprised about. When we announced that we have this initiative to bring an employee who will answer the questions about the study opportunities, who will make these PDF files about the study opportunities in Saudi Arabia, in Medina, the opportunities for seeking knowledge, the Sharia knowledge. What was surprising is that it's women who responded to that initiative. For example, we aimed to gain some funds to fund this initiative, and we gained like $2,200 if I'm not mistaken, and 80% of those money, they came from women. And just in generally, they expressed so much interest in these study opportunities of seeking knowledge in Medina. I don't know how to explain that, because it's usually rijal, men, who are jumping for that opportunity, but for some reason it turned out to be the other way around. That's why I'm going to start with the women opportunities for the study in Medina, and then I'll get to the study opportunities for men that are exclusively for men. As for women, Allahumma barik, women, they have this marakez in Medina, the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's my 5th year living in Medina, and I found out about this just recently when I started digging into that. Women have these marakez that are outside of the Prophet's Mosque. They are in different parts of Medina where they can study Arabic. They can memorize the Quran. They can study Sharia. They can study Aqidah. They can study so many things in those marakez. And what's beautiful about those marakez is that they are free of charge. They don't have to pay anything. And let's start with the first marakez. And by the way, again, you don't have to have a residency of Saudi Arabia to sign up for those marakez. You can be here with your husband. Let's say your husband works in Medina or he studies in Medina. You don't have a residency, still you can sign up for those marakez. And again, a part of our initiative is to make a PDF file about all these marakez, and we are probably 60 or 70% complete with making that PDF file. It's going to be available inshallah later. Once it's available, we will post make an announcement about it in our Telegram channel that's called Study in Saudi Arabia. So make sure you sign up for that Telegram channel. The link will be in the description of this video, inshallah. So the first marakez from the marakez that are available for women in Medina is called Markaz Mishkat. It's located in the district called Rabwa. It's 2 minutes walk from me, by the way. I live in Rabwa. What's really interesting about this marakez that they focus on sisters who want to study from the very beginning. They even cover tajweed, as I've heard. Tajweed and letters from the Arabic language. And they are more focused on the practical use of the Arabic language. They're used on teaching you how to speak the language. It's 2-year program. It's not just a couple of months, it's a whole program. They teach Al-Arabiyyatu Bayna Yadayk alongside with other Islamic science books. They compile themselves. And I'm reading from the PDF file that was compiled by some of the sisters. May Allah reward them. But at the same time, we are making our own PDF file that will include more information, even including the kindergarten that's provided by those marakez. Those marakez, they provide what's called al-hadana, where sisters can leave their child while they're studying. So yeah, inshallah, it's going to be a very detailed version of that PDF file that I'm reading now. But may Allah reward the sisters who compiled this PDF file. So this Markaz Mishkat, they teach you from the very beginning, and from the comments of the sisters who were studying in this Markaz, I can tell that they are for beginners, for those who are in the very beginning and they want to advance in the Arabic language, to learn the basics. But it doesn't mean that they only teach Arabic and Quran. No, they also teach Aqidah. They also teach some portion of the Sharia. So it's going to be beneficial in all sides. And again, it's available for women who don't have a residency, just have a visa and passport. But make sure that you get in touch with them and ask them if they are available, because there is a limited number of spots that can be taken. If I'm not mistaken, even now they are full. But every semester they have available spots. That's when you can sign up. Even throughout the semester, if I'm not mistaken, sisters can sign up if they have some available spots. So this is what I want to say in terms of Markaz Mishkat. And again, you will find more information in the PDF file. There is another markaz, the second markaz, that's called Tayyiba. It's located in another district. It's far from here. It's called the district of Tayyiba. They also have this 2-year program for sisters. The difference of this markaz compared to the Markaz Mishkat is that they are more focused on the grammar of the Arabic language. So if someone wants to learn how to speak the Arabic language, they're more focused on that, they should go to the Markaz Mishkat. But if you are enjoying the grammar of the Arabic language, then you should join this Markaz Al-Tayyiba. In the first level, they have Al-Arabiyyatu Bayna Yadak, book number 1, Al-Qa'ida Nuraniyya, Quran and writing. So it's very basic. On the second level, they have Al-Arabiyyatu Bayna Yadak, the second book. They have some portion of fiqh, aqidah, seerah and hadith. Seerah and hadith. The third level is Al-Arabiyyatu Bayna Yadak, book number 3, and again aqidah, fiqh, seerah, hadith and tafsir. And on the fourth level, They have all the same العربية بين يديك, Quran, writing, fiqh, عقيدة, سيرة, hadith, tafsir, plus imla. This is a second marakez that's available for women, and inshallah I'm going to include this PDF file until we make our PDF file, inshallah. My wife, she asked for the permission to share this, and they gave the permission. Allahumma barik fihinna. The third marakez is called Marakez al-Ma'rifah, and they keep changing their name. It was called Marakez al-Manar, Marakez al-Ta'allum. Now it's called Marakez al-Ma'rifah. If I'm not mistaken, they even changed the name. But al-Ibra, not in, like, the point is not in it's not in their name, but the benefit is in their studies. This marakez is an advanced marakez. They are very strict. They're very strict, especially when it comes to attendance. My wife, she talked to some of the students who study in that marakez, and one of them mentioned that if you skip 3 days without an excuse, they just expel you. That's it. You're not serious about the studies. And they have all these different programs. They don't only teach Arabic. Not only do they teach Arabic, they also teach some other things. As I can see, there is an Arabic program, 2-year program consisting of 4 main levels using Medina books. Medina books meaning that the books that are studied in the Islamic University of Medina. Then there is this Sharia program, but I heard that they are not doing this Sharia program. I don't know if it's temporary, inshallah we'll see in the future. And then there is Quran program, when there's a lot of focus on Quran memorization in this marakez. And what sisters mentioned is that this marakez is excellent. My wife, she talked to some of the sisters while making this PDF file, and they were praising this marakez. They were saying that this marakez is for serious sisters. So if you are one of them, you speak, I don't know what kind of level they require for you to have in the Arabic language to join them, but if you are very serious about the studies and you have maybe some foundation in the Arabic language, I would suggest to join this Arabic language. But of course every person knows their state better than anybody else. So if you are in the very beginning, then of course you should join either Marakez al-Mishkat or Tayyiba. Also I heard there's a marakez called Marakez al-Dhikr, but I don't know any information about that. Inshallah we will dig into that, and once we get any, the information about that marakez, we're going to present that in the PDF file. And of course we're going to make an announcement on our Telegram channel as well. So as you can see, Allahumma barik, women they have these marakez where they can join and study, and these marakez even accommodate for sisters who have babies, who have children. They take care of the children. I don't know about the quality of those hadana. Again, we are gathering all the information. It's going to be presented in the PDF file, inshallah. And I personally find this beautiful that women have these opportunities to study. Within time, women became more studious, I would say. Yeah. So this is the study opportunities that are exclusive for women. And now let's get to the third part of this video, which is the study opportunities that are exclusive for men. And I want to say that men study in universities, like the Islamic University of Medina has 16,500 students. All of them are men. Tayyiba University has lots of scholarships for men, and because of that they don't have that many opportunities for men outside of that formal study. So I was digging into that, and I found only one marakez where they teach brothers the Arabic language, and that's it. I haven't found a marakez that would teach them Sharia, Quran, or any of those. I only found one marakez that teaches the brothers the Arabic language. It's called Marakez al-Fusha. It's on a paid basis, All those marakez for women, they are free of charge, but this marakez, it's a commercial project. They made this marakez, you pay 700 riyals as of now, the February 25th, 2024. Every group has 10, 12 students, and they study Al-Arabiyyatu Bayna Yadayk 4 days a week. Every day it's 2 hours of study. And my brother-in-law, he attended that marakez and he loved the study over there. He praised the marakez and he praised the teacher. He was very interactive. He even inquired, when he skipped one day, we inquired, why did you skip? Did something happen? So he really loved the study over there. I'm going to make an announcement about that marakez, inshallah. I already got in touch with the marakez administration. Inshallah, I'm going to have a talk with them, and then after that I will provide more information on that, inshallah. But again, this is a beautiful opportunity for men. What you can do, you can come to Medina, right? Let's say you got a visa, you can come to Medina, you can sign up for the Quran memorization, halaqat memorization, and at the same time you can benefit from the Arabic language studies. So you wake up, you go to the marakez, spend 2 hours of study in the marakez, go back home, get some revision for your halaqat studies of Quran. Then you go to the Masjid Nabawi for the Asr prayer, let's say. You study or memorize the Quran in the study circle. Then you go to the halaqah of mutun. You stay in the Masjid Nabawi until Isha or maybe even more. You go home. Alhamdulillah, the whole day you spend it in seeking knowledge in the best way possible. And another thing, as a conclusion, I want to say that I come from a country which is not a Western country. I was born and raised in Kazakhstan. I worked in Russia. The average salary of a school teacher in Russia or in Kazakhstan is about $300. $300, that's it. Therefore, people find it hard to come to Saudi Arabia and use this opportunity to study. As for the Western people, you have all this opportunity to save up, because life in Saudi Arabia is not that expensive compared to the Western world. It's quite cheap. The rent is relatively cheap. It might be like 4 times cheaper than in the UK. The groceries, the food, everything is a lot cheaper. So you have this beautiful opportunity to come. I know people in my country who've worked for 4 or 5 years to save up enough just to come to Medina for 1 year. But in your case, you can save up that amount of money that will be sufficient for you within 6 months. Or maybe somebody will be willing to sponsor you. Maybe it's your brother, sibling brother, who wants you to memorize the Quran. So don't waste this opportunity, especially if you come from the Western world. I really find Western people that they don't appreciate this opportunity the way they should appreciate it. It's relatively cheap to come to Saudi Arabia and put these efforts. Don't be the people of dunya. Know that if you come to Saudi Arabia, let's say for a year or for 2 years, you can memorize the Quran, you can memorize so much from the Islamic text, al-ahadith. You can attend the lessons of the scholars, and it's going to have an impact for your whole life. Your whole life. This is a brilliant opportunity. I graduated from the university, I worked as an engineer, but once I came to Medina and I experienced this life over here, and I've been here for the last 4 years, I can say for sure that it's had such a great impact on my life, on my iman, on my knowledge, on everything. For me, it seems like I'm a different person, and it can happen to you. So don't neglect this opportunity. That's my point. Save up, find a way to come here. There are many ways that you can come here. I mean the visa and the plane tickets and everything, and use this opportunity. Don't waste it. And in the akhirah you will find, even in this dunya you will find the reward, inshallah. You'll have that great impact that it will have on you, and then in the akhirah you will find the best reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is al-Kareem, And that's all I wanted to mention in this video. Wa jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And don't forget that we provide the latest up-to-date important news regarding study opportunities in Saudi Arabia, and we also publish the most interesting and useful information about life in Medina. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels. The links can be found in the description of this video.